And Ron Coomer joins us to talk about his Cubs, and the Coom Dog, of course, an all-star as a player, and has spent the last 10-plus years in the Cubs radio booth with Pat Hughes. Coom Dog, good morning. Good to see you, man.
Good morning, Matty. Harold, how you boys doing?
We're great. We're great.
Good.
It's about time we got you on this program, by the way.
But that's Harold. I understand. You know, he infielders, I thought I'd been on years ago, but that's okay. We'll let that.
Good to have you back, man. Hey, you know, we talk about the Cubs a lot this offseason because they've had a really interesting offseason, saying goodbye to guys like Cody Bellinger, saying hello to guys like Kyle Tucker. It feels like after a year with Craig Counsell that things are falling into place for them to be an elite team in 2025. Am I buying something that's not real, or do you guys feel the same way?
I think what you're hearing from camp and what you're talking about, Matty, is exactly correct. I think there's multiple reasons for that too. And as we all know, you guys have been in the game a long time too. When you get a new manager and he's not totally sure what he's got when you first come over. So you're learning front office people's names and what they do, and you're learning your minor league staff and then the minor league players and your big league players. You know, there's a lot to take on very quickly. So I really believe year two for Counts is going to be much easier. And you're seeing his fingerprints all over the roster and what he's looking for and what made him so successful in Milwaukee as a manager and really as a player too, because he was a guy who battled to stay on the big league field, but he played in some big World Series. He was always on the field in the big moments. And now you're seeing some of that with his players, you know, and he's able to do some of that with the roster.
It's real cool. Hey, you guys mentioned, or Matt did, Kyle Tucker coming in. So he was in American League all those years, trained in Florida. The first time you set eyes on him, getting a chance to see him move physically, what were your thoughts of watching him?
First of all, very big guy, much bigger than, you know, when you're broadcasting a game and you're down on the field and you're standing back a little bit watching BP. All of a sudden you go out there and now I'm meeting him. You understand where the pop comes from in the bat, and big, strong, really good athlete too. I did not realize that. And you watch him run around the field, Harold. Great athlete. He's going to be a great addition to this lineup in Wrigley Field.
They put some veterans into the mix, but I want to talk to you about one of the young guys, Ron, and you were an all-star third baseman during your playing career, so you're keeping you right in your sweet spot here. Talk about Matt Shaw, what you've seen from him, and what the expectations are.
Well, he's their top prospect, and he's had a full year now to play in the minor leagues and really kind of settle into the position. The unfortunate thing for Matty is he was hurt early in camp. So he had an issue. So he's only played for about a week now here in camp. So to me, he's just now starting to get his legs underneath him with the swing and the day-to-day routine. Because as you know, spring training is tough because there's a lot going on, long days, and then you play a ball game. So I think he's just now getting his legs underneath him to really show what he can do. But the kid can hit. He's got good hands at third base. He's working on, his throwing to first base, but that's an easy fix for a guy. I never had a cannon for an arm, but you play long toss every day. That throw will become second nature to him. Very good player, very good hitter, great barrel to ball skills.
We talk a lot about Ohtani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, all going to be playing and participating in Japan for the Dodgers. But Imanaga is going to be starting as well. So I'm curious. His personality is amazing. The Japanese media covers him constantly, I'm sure. So what are you hearing about the reception and what it's going to be like in Japan there for him?
Well, we're hearing that it's going to be massive, and I expect it for him. I mean, he came into our league, and and he wasn't expected to be our number one starter. Justin Steele coming off, finishing third or fourth in the Cy Young the year before, and Imanaga came in with a big personality, a lot of fun, big smile. And he just dealt all year long. He had one outing where he gave up quite a few runs, one time in Wrigley Field. If he didn't have that, his ERA probably comes down half a point. But he's going to be – he'll get a massive ovation. And the people in Japan, I'm sure, are going to be extremely happy to see him back in Japan.
Hey, we want to dig on you a little bit here with your own playing career.
Yeah, man.
Because you had a great run in Minnesota. You had the 1 year in your home state as a Cub. Was that right? You went right from the Twins to the Cubs? Was that the route?
That's correct.
So you go back home. You're an Illinois guy. You had to have been excited, but at the same time, you were such a Twin. You were so branded as a Twin. Take us back to that time date stamp and what was in your head.
It was pretty bizarre. I remember being in Clearwater Beach as all this is going on, and as you go through all these negotiations and stuff like that, and first of all, when I didn't sign with the Twins, that was disappointing. I had a very good year the year before. We just played in the All-Star game, 2 years before, and I loved it there. But that's our business of our game. And the Twins were going in a different direction. They were going much younger.
Look how professional
Look at you. What were you interviewing for a job at IBM at the mall or something? What was this headshot all about?
How about that, right? Look at that. Where did that fresh face go, Harold? I don't know what happened to that fresh face.
Hey, do you still have the hitting academy? You still running Swingtown?
I am not. I ended up selling that years ago. When I started moving, Matty, I moved to Minnesota, and I was there so long. It was tough to be in Chicago. I had a lot of employees, and I sold to another guy to do it. That was one of my all-time favorite things. And one thing I'll say, I was in the minor leagues when I started it. That taught me more about teaching hitting than anything else. It really helped my big league career.
Wow. No, sure. That makes a lot. I remember the first time I did a clinic, and I was talking about, because you don't think about how you process things. And it's kind of like, oh, wow, that's what I do? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Hey, are you on the air today, or are you guys calling the game today?
We are not. The team is going to play the game today in Sloan Park, so we've got a home game against Milwaukee. And then the team is going to fly to Japan tonight, and I am going to go to the ballpark here after I get off the air with you guys here in about an hour and head over and watch the workout in the morning, watch the game, and then I'm going to enjoy Scottsdale sunshine tonight. Later today, and I may hit a golf ball or two this afternoon. You never know. That could be.
Enjoy. And I'm thinking
That's
about
awesome.
the ramifications of Pat Hughes wearing one of those gaudy 1980s sweaters in Japan, and I think it's probably best that he stay home.
See, I just the sweaters just makes them, doesn't it? I mean, the Cubs even did the thing last year where they had Pat Hughes sweater day. We see him all over the ballpark. He's the best.
He's the best.
You know how you know that things are good? I fell into this job as a broadcaster with my hometown team, and here I'm sitting next to a Hall of Fame broadcaster. I just follow in the wake, Matty, and just make sure I don't screw things up.
It's all good, man. We love listening to you guys, too, Ron. Thanks for the visit today. Good to see you, and hopefully we can check in during the season and check you guys out. Peering into the future.
The future.
Futures props that are out there all across the interwebs now. So we'll dive in on these two teams, and the first thing that pops into your brain.
Changed immediately.
They took them down.
That's the first thing I got to think about.
These
things
down.
are fluid. So if somebody started jumping in on these things a couple weeks ago, better hold on.
Right.
Better hold on.
You had Francisco Alvarez over 18.5 homers, and then he breaks his hamate bone.
Yep.
Hold on. So let's go to the Braves and just give you a snapshot view of what's out there for them. The win total put at 93.5. Minus 325 to make the postseason. So they are heavy favorites to do that. That's why you have to pay the minus 325. To win the division, you're in plus money because the Phillies are favored. And then to win the World Series, you get plus 900. Is there anything here that you like more than the other?
I tell you what, I'm looking at, I don't know about the over wins of 93.
It's a big number.
That's big.
Yeah, and they're going to, this.
Because they got the Phillies, the Mets, they're going to run into some teams that are going to be tough to them.
That's right. That's right. I want nothing to do with laying minus 325 for anything, even though I'm pretty sure they are going to win the postseason.
They're going to make the postseason.
Yeah. How about some player props? Here we go. Austin Riley's homer total is the same as Marcell Ozuna. I think you're getting a discount on Matt Olson because, his homers dropped by 50% last year.
Yeah, he'll be back up there.
I think he hits 34 or more. I like that a lot. Albies stolen base total seems reasonable. Chris Sale's strikeout number is right where it needs to be to stay away from it, if you ask me, because he could be plus or minus 1 or 2 strikouts off that.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that one at all.
So that's really a very sharp line. So the thing I like the most here is Olson over 33.5 homers. I think he gets there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Reds.
All right.
And we'll treat it the same way. We'll look at some of the team numbers out there for Cincinnati this year. There's been a lot of action on the Reds win total, and we talked to Dave
I'm
Sherman.
all in on that. They're going to win more than 79 games.
Okay. So if they win the division, you get plus 490 on that.
I'm jumping on that, too.
Okay. They've been your pick for a long time. I'll give you credit. And then you get.
I don't think they get to the World Series, but.
Okay, so you like them over the win total and to win the division.
Absolutely.
At almost plus 500.
It has to be, right? I mean, they're not going to win a division with 79.5 wins.
No, I would think not.
No.
Somebody goes over 500 there.
Got to.
Let's go to some player props. Matt McClain, who missed essentially a whole year, 22.5 homers. Ellie's homers and stolen bases feel reasonable, and Hunter Green's punch-out number is at 160.
All those are all reachable, I think, for each player.
Again, the only thing I really love that we put up in these two teams, the Braves and Reds, is Olsen over 33.5 homers.
I agree.
I
mean, even Ellie, those are tough numbers to reach.
I think he gets to the stolen base number easier than the homer number. But if I had to make a call on any of that stuff, yeah, Ellie goes over those thresholds too.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's good stuff.
And once again, these two teams are playing in the Speedway Classic this summer.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That is going to be awesome at the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. That's going to be such a good event this year. My heavens, they are
Yeah.
transforming a raceway into a baseball park, appointment viewing in the middle of the summer. You'll be out there for that one, right?
I hope so.
Oh, you will be. I'll be here. I'll be here in Studio K on the weekends. With
When is it? That's what date?
August.
August. Yeah, I think I'm free.